All right, guys. Hey, hey. Hi, Nina. Nina loves to laugh. Wonderful to see you. Sorry for my little delay there. Aries called to me and I had to go check on him, and let's get to it. Also, guys, I am kind of alarmed because, as it turns out, somebody just said to me in the comments that they understand I only ever do one Scorpio per month video, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I think maybe YouTube's not showing my channel very often, or maybe the content very often. And I'm not sure what to do about that, because like there's already been 7 Scorpio videos this month, 7 Aries videos this month, 7 Ophiuchus videos this month. So I actually put out a lot of content, and I have a playlist for every zodiac, and I'm going to make sure that I start mentioning that more. I'm going to start making sure that I let you guys know how many I've already put out each week, because maybe that'll help people to find the content when YouTube isn't like making it very visible. Because I was like, no, no, gosh, it hurts my heart to think that, I try to create and then it doesn't ever get seen. So I'm going to do my best to try to help you guys. And I'm so glad that I know this now, because perhaps I can figure out a way to make it more accessible. Hi, everybody. Really good to see you all. Thanks for being here. This is a single story. By the way, guys, we will be doing some extra things that I'm going to be adding for the holiday season, just something fun I have in mind, and something else new also. So anyway, I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys later on this week. I've been working all weekend on some things. I'm sorry I have paint all over my hands, but it's been a great weekend. So we have a King of Cups for this single story. That King of Cups could be a water sign. He could be somebody very in love. He could be somebody who's feeling the feels right now. And although he could be directing his emotions possibly toward this Page of Pentacles, someone he hasn't spoken to a great deal yet, I think she's picking up on what he's putting down. Look, maybe both of them say, wow, I've wanted to meet somebody just like him, just like her. This is shared energy with the Star card, Aquarius energy coming in. If anything, these two might have like a real similar attraction or a similar perspective for each other, but I don't feel like this is a relationship that's like gotten off the ground. He seems to have a lot more emotions already like built up or developed than she does. But let's just see. We have the Strength card also. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe these two have just been playing it cool and keeping it under wraps a little bit. I feel like it's I don't know, something with the Strength card there. Strength card is Leo energy. We have Knight of Swords also. Knight of Swords is the vibe of fast moving energy. So if they've recently started to strengthen bonds between the two of them, that could be something that possibly it's about to change. He could want to say something. He could want to speak up. He could want to communicate a little bit more. And that could be coming up really soon, that he'll go ahead and show his emotions. I mean, anytime we have this wave coming in, a wave of emotions, so how do you hold back water? How do you hold back emotions? You can try, but it doesn't work for very long. And we have the Moon upright. Definitely things that are hidden. And that was associated with her once already. So she, I think, is going to be a bit surprised. Even if she feels a nice bond with him, she may not have realized that it's shifting into like a mutually like attractive energy. She may not have any clue about how he feels about her. Why is it that he's kept it under wraps so much? Hey guys, great to see you. We have Lovers and we have Four of Swords. Part of it is she's just not imagining that, he's got those vibes. Part of it is plain and simple, she doesn't picture him feeling that way about her. Maybe she is only recently kind of single enough and thinking about other, potential romantic partners for herself. That could be because of the Lovers card there. And so she's like, oh, it takes a long time for people to fall in love. Like with my last relationship, it took us a long time to get there. And, I'm just kind of still working on leaving that last relationship somewhere way back in the past, in the back of my mind. Seven of Pentacles is upright. Yeah, for her, I do think that she takes a very long time to either like fully think of herself as completely single, and also she takes a long time to maybe fall for somebody. I feel like she moves slow. Yeah, the Hermit. We couldn't get much slower than that, right? The Hermit withdraws, and they think about things, and they go into themselves for a bit, and they, interact, quietly and softly with their world, and kind of, sort things out as best they have to, as best they need to. So she's somebody that just opens up really slow, and she doesn't really have it on her mind that somebody would be finding her a tasty snack. That's not entirely true, though, is it? Especially because we already saw her sitting there with the moon behind her, and now we see this Seven of Cups, but it's sideways. Both people have wondered, I wonder what you think of me. Both people have, they've thought about it a little bit. She in particular, though, is still sleeping alone. She in particular, again, with the Four of Swords, she kind of I think talks her right back out. She talks herself right back out of thinking that, thinking about somebody liking her. She just kind of pushes it out. And we have the Devil. The Devil card upright is, the energy of Capricorn, first off. But you see somebody whispering into her ear. Look, I think she's attracted to this person, and I think she's got a little spice and a little spicy thoughts, in her mind for this person. But at the same time, it's kind of being kept under wraps. So she has a lot of attraction for them. She may even fantasize about them, gravitating toward her, talking to her. Definitely, there's a desire for some kind of more intimate connection on her part. But she has not put herself out there and, discovered this or found this or, connected to somebody quite like that. She hasn't had that happen yet. Four of Wands, sideways. I definitely think what flits through her mind is the idea of lust with this person. And then also the idea of, could I see myself with this person long term? This all just plays out quietly behind the scenes in the back of her mind while she's here in hermit mode. So it's interesting because what we've just described for her is that her personality is one that, she kind of digests things quietly and does a little bit more plays out how things could go in her mind instead of plays out, in the 3D realm for her, at least not until she's already contemplated all the different potential storylines and the potential ways that something could go. Now, the one thing I will say that could be a big drawback, somebody who plays a lot of things out in their head could sometimes miss opportunities in the 3D world and in the real world where she's, interacting right now. So that could be a bit of a problem, perhaps, that it could slow things down a little bit for her. Strength card again, though. Maybe well played, universe. I think I just got scolded on that one. This says, or maybe she strengthens knowing herself through this approach, meaning she contemplates things, she mulls over them for a while, she imagines the different timelines. Maybe this is how she manifests, so she always gets the timeline she really, truly wants, and she gets the lessons that she really wants, and she is confident by the time she chooses to make a step in a direction, she's 100% clear on what she's doing and why she's doing it. That actually, there's a lot to be said for that approach too. Not necessarily like she's holding back too much and going to miss out on opportunities, but rather things could be going really, really well for her in the right direction, all said and done. Okay, So with that in mind, let me go ahead and go back over to looking at that King of Cups, right? So the King of Cups has an awful lot of emotion, right? We have King of Swords, we have Two of Cups, we have Queen of Coins. If anything, he's picturing like an awesome outcome. He's seeing the two of them. So he projects into the future also, right? This tidal wave of emotion that he feels for her, he's already seeing a future. He's like, if I talk to her and tell her, like, I feel like we vibe really well. I feel like, you're this stable, wonderful influence, this person that I would want in my life, this person that I think we could share love with. We could have, also, this is not just like overly romanticized in his mind. Yes, he started out as a King of Cups, so very emotional, but then he's very cerebral. He is very romantic, but he also, one of the things he adores about her is he sees her as very, very grounded. Now, she came out as a hermit, so possibly a Virgo already. And she moves slow with that Seven of Pentacles. So definitely she could be an earth sign. But it's interesting because he sees those qualities in her, which is, it's not fluffy, right? He sees somebody of great substance. And that's one of the things that he thinks would be so appealing to him and why the two of them would get along so well together. I kind of think he's figured out like a little bit of the essence of who he believes she is and why he's fallen for her. Let me just ask, do you have a pretty good peg on who she is? Judgment card. What? So he's come out, as I said, as both a King of Swords and as a King of Cups, right? That Judgment it can be a reconciliation card. Is this somebody he's praying to reconcile with? Then that would mean that at the beginning of this, if we go back, we see that Page of Pentacles and we see the moon behind her, and we see that star card, which can be shared energy of healing or distance. This can be things that are hidden. Is it possible then that he's been, this is an ex of his that he's fallen for again? And all this time that I was thinking she was, just slow to move toward him. Is it at all possible instead that she's not aware that it's actually an ex of hers, the same ex she's trying to get over and consider, like, I think I'm about ready to date somebody new. I'm thinking it could be great. I've been a hermit. I've been on my own. I've been slowly healing from things, but I'm picturing myself, having the next lover. I thought she was picturing being with him, but it could actually be she's just been slowly but surely letting go of the memory of this very same person, of him. This could be an ex. Let me get one more card on the Judgment card. Queen of Cups. Well, if these two were exes, since we did have the King of Cups and now we have the Queen of Cups, once upon a time, they were a loving duo. Once upon a time. Then what happened? What happened here? Five of Cups. What happened was loss. And here we are at the ocean again. So it started out with him at the sea. And then the sea took this thing away. So I'm going to say that emotions were, as with any relationship, it can be an emotional roller coaster. Everything can be wonderful, and then we head downhill, and all of a sudden it's really painful and it's really difficult, and we feel a great loss. Relationships are famous for taking us, through the up and down emotional ride. But Two of Coins and the Hierophant, there was a question mark about whether or not a long-term marriage was like possibly what he was ready for. That could have been what caused the loss in this connection. It could have been, because this says, I'm debating, I'm not sure about something as serious as long-term and marriage. So if did you cause her grief, and you're the one she's been grieving and healing from, and able to think again about, like, oh, I think I'm ready to date again, because that's where she's been. She's been in the Hermit's energy. She's been slowly healing from things. But are you the person who wasn't sure if you wanted to get married in the past, so that broke up the relationship, but now time has passed and you're like, no, like I really love her and I got to come in and say something. He's been on his own hermit's journey. Oh, but we also have a Knight of Wands. I don't know if he's been single and solo and contemplating like what. So I'm going to go out and date people for forever, but never lock it down, never have a long-term connection. Maybe for a while he thought that's what he needed to do. Maybe for a long time, that's what he thought his life should be made up of. I should just, stay single and date, but never get too serious. And then he thought, yikes, that sounds kind of exhausting, possibly, to never have something that, is you're building longevity. So look, I'm not going to say that I love this story because I don't. It's always kind of a bummer to me when it's like, wait a second. So you met somebody wonderful, but then you're like, ooh, so great. Definitely don't want to do anything long-term there. And then time passes, and right as she's kind of healing, that's when you're like, I really do want her. I've decided I won't be young and flirty forever. I should, think about my older age, and then I need somebody, long term. I don't know. I don't dig it. Two of Swords. That's what I'm saying. I would say block this and move on, feminine. You've been healing. But look, just because I agree with that doesn't mean that that's right. Six of Swords. The thing is, the cards keep saying she is blocking this and she is moving on with the Six of Swords. Okay, so this is an attempt at somebody to come back into her life. And it actually says, I think she is going to block that like a basketball player. I do not think this is going to work. Let me just double check. Queen, what do you really want now? Seven of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. I want somebody who is long-term material. I want somebody that I could garden with. If you're planting your baby little seedlings and tending them and nurturing them because you want to be able to harvest, your tomatoes at the end of the season, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of care. And she's like, that's the kind of person I am. That's the kind of person I want to be with. And frankly, I'd rather be single or be with somebody like that, but there won't be an in-between for me. So I kind of think she is long-term material. She is absolutely long-term material. And she's not going to probably put up with anything that isn't. Nine of Swords, Knight of Cups. Nine of Swords is maybe the thought of him stresses her out, but it's actually him here on the card. So I'm going to say, if anything, she may still be pretty much oblivious to the fact that he's like feeling like he blew it with her, that she was a long-term person and he blew it with her. The angels are over here saying, you blew it with her. And this has become, like carved out of stone now. See, I don't know that he, as much as he wants to move toward her, I just don't know that he gets another round with her. And I think he's already nervous about that. Here we have the dream catcher overhead. So I'm thinking he's realizing she actually was like a dream come true. But is it just because now she's out of reach, out of his league, and it's not going to be, we have the Star upright. I don't know. This all looks pretty, especially with the Star here. She's definitely out of reach, out of, the potential of the two of them being together now. But you notice how she's got kind of an entire like sacred geometry thing going on. I almost think she was always meant to be with somebody totally different. So maybe, sometimes we think, oh, the person who's healing must be the one who, got hurt. And she was certainly the one who was healing. We saw that Four of Swords with her a couple times. No, she's actually the person that was never supposed to be with him. She's meant to be somewhere else. She, I'm going to say kind of like graced his life a little bit with some of her energy so he could learn something. But she was probably not actually going to be the right partner for him. So although it might have seemed like he didn't want to be with me long term, and that feels, painful or, even like humiliating. This card says, no, darling, it's the reverse. You popped into his life for but a moment so he could see if he wanted to level up and be at your level, that maybe he could have been on that same trajectory with you, but you are something altogether different. She is a little otherworldly. I think she's supposed to be with somebody who's much more like, I don't know, if it's like a star seed, or somebody who's very connected. We have a 10 of Pentacles. There is like a celestial family for her, somebody that is probably more either spiritual, or maybe we could even go down the road of like sci-fi-esque, or somebody that would be like a real match to her. We see the sky here that's really prominent, and we see the sky, of course, above her here. So I'm wondering if she was never meant to be with him. She's got somebody else that is like, I don't know, I feel like a star seed, or somebody who's like come to earth just for her, like reincarnated just to find her again. She does have a true partner. But she had to help this other person first, help him to learn something. So wait a second. Are you about to meet your true partner then? Is this Two of Wands and Queen of Pentacles? Yes. She had to get to the point where she can let him go and see this for what it is. Also, maybe this whole thing had to play out exactly as it did, where he had the chance to be with her. There was great love. Then he was like, oh yeah, great love, but don't want to be in something long term. So I'll leave. She grieves it. She processes it. Then he comes back in to be like, hey, I do want this now. But by this point, she's like, I've sailed onward from this. This isn't my thing anymore. And I almost think she had to acknowledge that she's done with this and is consciously choosing a different path. And that's where we see her like genuinely like welcoming in whatever is right for her. We have that spiral, kind of like the spiral of like the galaxy of the Milky Way behind her. I would say much of this hinges with her knowing, I wouldn't pick him. That's not my person. And then, like I said, it's almost like sometimes this storyline is yo-yoed us back and forth, like, oh man, that wasn't very nice to do to her, poor her. And then it's like, wait a second, not poor her. She's actually not supposed to be with him, but she had to realize it first. And I feel like we've got the swinging pendulum of like, wait a minute, who's in the power position here? And it actually kind of says she is in the power position to make a decision. When she's done dealing with people like him, that's when she'll have her true partner. And I think she's done dealing with somebody who's, he was not exactly reliable. We have Temperance, and it is in the reverse. So we certainly have like the awareness of where there's been an imbalance. If she's ready to go ahead and welcome in a different partnership, something that's truly right for her, I would say she is the one able to say, oh, he was never right for me. We weren't a match. So letting that go is huge, huge. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. There was also an imbalance that she's saying, I didn't feel that great about me. That's maybe why I was putting up with somebody who, like, they loved me, but then they didn't want anything too serious. And then I let that hurt me. I shouldn't have let that hurt me. That I must have been in a place of like lower self-esteem. I was not super balanced myself. Now that I can lay that down, now I can let this thing go with that 10 of Wands. I think both of them, though, have actually learned something really important, but we certainly see her like ready to move on now consciously and realize I probably shouldn't have ever let that make me feel sad or feel like, oh, they weren't ready to be with me or they didn't want me long term. That was not anything that she should have felt sad about. If anything, it would have been like, oh, wow, sucks to be them. They're missing out on all this. I mean, yikes. That sucks that they're that immature and that they're not ready for something really solid. They must not feel very good in themselves to walk away from love, reject it, reject what we had and could have been. They must have their problems, huh? I don't think she saw it that way, but I think that's a more accurate way to look at this. With the Page of Pentacles, all of these are like maybe new thoughts for her to realize. And this has all been part of her journey as well. Isn't that interesting how the storyline begins in one place and leaves us somewhere completely different? All of these were things that she had to realize about herself, things maybe she was afraid to admit to herself, things that she kind of knew deep down, but needed to be able to experience and see and then admit it's true. I actually am like maybe meant to be with somebody totally different. I'm a Queen of Pentacles. I want to be in a Ten of Pentacles relationship with somebody who's so stable. I know that I'm meant for somebody really special, but in truth, I didn't feel super special in myself, which is why I was dilly-dallying with him. So you know what? If anything, we have no villains in this. Not really. We just have lessons that got learned. I think she's ready for her Ten of Pentacles. She knows that like the next time somebody really falls for her, there won't be any question mark about, you know, whether or not she feels valuable. Also, if she meets somebody and they're falling for her, but they're not able to give her anything, I don't think she would probably fall for them. If that makes sense. I think that she's in a whole different place now, a whole different bracket now. So this was a big lesson for her. I love the fact that she's moved on. Guys, it's so nice to see all of you. I think I did it to myself again, though. I think I made this video too long and now it won't process. So I may have to take this video down and then re-release it tomorrow. I'm sorry that that happens. It's a YouTube thing that's been going on. Also, YouTube, I don't think is showing videos that I post. Somebody thought I only ever put out one Scorpio video per month, where actually, like, I think I've already done 7 this month. I did 11 last month. So I think some of my content isn't getting seen or shown. So I have playlists for all of my zodiacs. So I hope that helps you guys. And I'm going to try to be really, it's going to be repetitious, but I'm going to say it a lot from now on until maybe I can at least get that to be something. I don't know what to do with the problems that I'm facing right now. So I'm trying to flow with them and work with them. I thank you guys so much for giving me the feedback when you know some of these things pop up, because then I can start to navigate. But thank you guys for hanging with me. RS love. Hey babe. Hi Deb. Karen. Hi sweetheart. Black Butterfly 25. Yes indeed. Happy birthday to the Saggies. Thank you guys so much. Italian Stallion, thanks for being here, babe. Help me understand this. You angel, thank you so much. Thank you guys for giving it a thumbs up. I can't tell you how important that is, especially, to keep a channel alive. Without those interactions, YouTube doesn't show anything. So I can't tell you how valuable that is to any free content creator that you watch out there. The thumbs up, the comments, subscribing, all those things really help. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Oh, Anna Williams, you sweetie. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. Hey, Gabriella. You guys are so awesome. Jacob, hi, babe. Shout out to you in Texas. Linda, Jeannie Vale. Squishfish. Hey, babe. Good to see you. Niquexo, hi, babe. Oh, thank you so much, Squishfish. You are so lovely. Spot on. Wonder Tea. Hi, honey. Izzy. Puppy Squeeze. Indigo Moon X. Hey, babe. Sierra's in the house. Miss Jamie 30. Hi, honey. Feeling my soul. Awesome to see you. Deb, I like that. That's a great mantra. Peace, peace, peace. Love it. Thank you again, Squishbish, for explaining that to Sarah. Yes, Squishbish was spot on. Yeah, I don't do card pulls like that, babe. But I'm honored. Thank you for wanting me to pull cards for you. But no, I don't do it that way. YouTube watcher, Han, nice to see you. Ranyo Kamal, how are you, babe? Christopher, nice to see you. Persephone descending. Tina's just passing time. Good, Tina. Thank you. Sunflowers, Moon Power, Moonbeam Windy, Love is Legendary. And again, Nina, thank you so much, babe. It's good to see you. Oh my God, Jeannie Vale, thank you, sweetheart. You are so kind. Thank you, Jeannie. And Karen, you angel. Oh my God. Karen just gifted a membership to, okay, I always say this wrong, but I'm, I, uh, I am IZ free. Forgive me. I know you told me how to say your name once. And so please forgive me that I know I'm botching it again. But thank you guys. You're so generous. Karen, thank you, Angel. I swear I'm so fortunate. You guys are the nicest community ever. Thank you guys. Sending you lots of love. I'm going to bounce over to Tarot Dog. We're going to do a little story there, and then I'm going to be live for a half hour and do card pulls over on Tarot Dog. So to those of you who are here, and now you know, so I'll see you over there in just a bit. Lots of love. Bye for right now.